What's good with y'all boys, man? Today is day 145 of reading 30 minutes every single day till I reach day 1,000 and beyond. I have a new book today. We have a new book today. Oh, The Two Towers, J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm so excited. I read The Fellowship of the Ring. Amazing book. There's a quick synopsis of Fellowship of the Ring. I'm super excited. Last video, I read Carrying the Fire by Michael Collins. I did have a little review at the end. If y'all want a better review, 5, 10 likes, and then we'll do book reviews. I'm not that good at book reviews, but might as well start getting better at them, right? Yeah. Today we're starting Two Towers. Here's the book. It looks really pretty. Two Towers. I gotta hold it so I'm just trying to get a thumbnail. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get a motherfucking thumbnail. Okay, we're about to start reading this book. It's a little thicker than the other one. Carrying the Fire is right there. I'm super excited. Yeah, this book is gonna take us to day 200 and probably more. And then once we reach day 200, we'll see about the next book. All right. Yeah, let's get this shit started. All right, I got the bear. I got the other bear. Oh, it's supposed to be over here. I got the other bear. And yeah, we about to start this book. I got 30 minutes on the clock. Starting in 3, 2, 1. All right, we got the bear. We got the other bear. We have The Two Towers, J.R.R. Tolkien. I have 30 minutes on the clock, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Three rings for the elven kings under the sky, 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone, 9 for mortal men doomed to die, 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne, in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them all, 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. Y'all, my hair's wet because I just took a shower, sorry. Okay. Synopsis. This is the second part of The Lord of the Rings. The first part, The Fellowship of the Ring, told how Gandalf the Grey discovered that the ring possessed by Frodo the Hobbit was in fact the One Ring, ruler of all the rings of power. It recounted the flight of Frodo and his companions from the quiet shire of their home, pursued by the terror of the Black Riders of Mordor, until at last, with the aid of Aragorn the Ranger and of Eredor, they came through desperate perils to the house of the Elrond in Rivendell. There was held the great council of Elrond, at which it was decided to attempt the destruction of the ring, and Frodo was appointed the ring-bearer. The companions of the ring were then chosen, who were to aid him in his quest, to come in. Hey, Mama, I'm reading right now.
When you're done, please come and see my bed.
Yes. The companions of the ring were then chosen, who were to aid him in his quest, to come if he could to the Mountain of Fire in Mordor, the land of the enemy himself, where alone the ring could be unmade. In this fellowship were Aragorn and Boromir, the son of the Lord of Gondor, representing men, Legolas, son of the Elven King of Mirkwood, for the elves, Gimli, son of Gloin of the Lonely Mountain, for the dwarves, Frodo and his servant Samwise and his 2 young kingsmen, Meriadoc and Peregrine, for the hobbits, and Gandalf the Grey. The companions journeyed in secret far from Rivendell in the north, until baffled in their attempt to cross the high pass of Caradhras. In winter, they were led by Gandalf through the hidden gate and entered the vast mines of Moria, seeking a way beneath the mountains. There Gandalf, in battle with the dreadful spirit of the underworld, fell into a dark abyss. But Aragorn, now revealed as the hidden heir of the ancient kings of the West, led the company on from the east gate of Moria, through the elvish land of Lorien, and down the great river Anduin until they came to the falls of Raros. Already they had become aware that their journey was watched by spies, and that the creature Gollum, who once had possessed the ring and still lusted for it, was following their trail. Ooh. It now became necessary for them to decide whether they should turn east to Mordor or go on with Boromir to the aid of Minas Tirith, chief city of Gondor, in the coming war, or should divide. When it became clear that the ring-bearer was resolved to continue his hopeless journey to the land of the enemy, Boromir attempted to seize the ring by force. The first part ended with the fall of Boromir to the lure of the ring, with the escape and disappearance of Frodo and his servant Samwise, and the scattering of the remainder of the Fellowship by a sudden attack of orc soldiers, some in the service of the Dark Lord of Mordor, some of the traitor Saruman of Isengard. The quest of the ring-bearer seemed already overtaken by disaster. This second part, The Two Towers, now tells how each of the members of the Fellowship of the Ring fared. Wow. Until the coming of the Great Darkness and the outbreak of the War of the Ring, which is to be recounted in the third and last part. I'm so excited, guys. I have to put on glasses for this. Hold on. Do I have my glasses over there? Where are they? I don't know. Oh, there. They're not prescribed, if y'all are wondering. They're just for fashion, but I like wearing them. Don't judge me. Okay, let's get it. Should I get this thumbnail or no? No, it's fine. The Two Towers, being the second part of The Lord of the Rings. Book 3. Chapter 1. The Departure of Boromir. Aragorn sped on up the hill. Every now and again he bent to the ground. Hobbits go light, and their footprints are not easy even for the ranger to read. But not far from the top of a spring crossed the path, and in the wet earth he saw what he was seeking. I read the signs, all right. I read the signs, all right, he said to himself. Frodo ran to the hilltop. I wonder what he saw there. But he returned by the same way and went down the hill again. Aragorn hesitated. He desired to go to the high seat himself, hoping to see there something that would guide him in his perplexities, but time was pressing. Suddenly he leaped forward and ran to the summit, across the great flagstones and up to the steps. Then sitting in the high seat he looked out, but the sun seemed darkened and the world dim and remote. He turned from the north back to the north, and then he saw nothing, save the distant hills. Unless it were that far away he could see again a great bird like an eagle high in the air, descending slowly in wide circles down toward the earth. Even as he gazed, his quick ears caught sound in the woodlands below. On the west side of the river he stiffened. There were cries, and among them, to his horror, he could distinguish the harsh voices of orcs. Then suddenly, with a deep-throated call, a great horn blew, and the blast of it smote the hills and echoed in the hollows, rising a mighty shout above the roaring of the falls. "The horn of Boromir!" he cried. "He is in need!" He sprang down the steps and away, leaping down the path. "Alas, an ill fate is on me this day, and all that I do goes amiss. Where is Sam?" As he ran, the cries came louder, but fainter now, and desperately the horn was blown. Fierce and shrill rose the yells of the orcs, and suddenly the horn calls ceased. Aragorn raced down the last slope, but before he could reach the hill's foot, the sounds died away, and as he turned to the left and ran towards them, they retreated, until at last he could hear them no more. Drawing his bright sword and crying, "Elendil! Elendil!" he crashed through the trees. 1 second. I just have to double check something real quick. Okay. I'm pretty sure I said it was day 145 of reading 30 minutes every single day. It's 144. It's alright. It's alright. It's okay. A mile, maybe, from Parth Galen, in a little glade not far from the lake, he found Boromir. He was sitting with his back to a tree as he was resting. But Aragorn saw that he was pierced with many black-feathered arrows. His sword was still in his hand, but it was broken near the hilt. His horn cloven in two was at his side. Many orcs lay slain, piled all about him at his feet. Damn. Aragorn knelt beside him. Boromir opened his eyes and strove to speak. At slow words came. "I tried to take the ring from Frodo," he said. I am sorry. I have paid." His glance strayed to his fallen enemies. 20 at least stay there. They have gone. The halflings. The orcs have taken them. I think they are not dead. Orcs bound them. He paused and his eyes closed wearily. After a moment he spoke again. "Farewell, Aragorn. Go to Minas Tirith and save my people. I have failed." "No," said Aragorn, taking his hand and kissing his brow. "You have conquered. Few have gained such a victory. Be at peace. Minas Tirith shall not fall." Boromir smiled. "Which way did they go? Was Frodo there?" said Aragorn. But Boromir did not speak again. "Alas," said Aragorn, "thus passes the heir of Denethor, Lord of the Tower of Guard. This is a bitter end. Now the company is all in ruin. It is I that have failed. Vain was Gandalf's trust in me. What shall I do now? Boromir has laid it on me to go to Minas Tirith, and my heart desires it. But where the ring and the ring bearer? But where are the ring and the bearer? The bearer. How shall I find them and save the quest from disaster?" He knelt for a while, bent with weeping, still clasping Boromir's hand. So it was that Legolas and Gimli found him. They came from the western slope of the hill, silently, creeping through the trees as if they were hunting. Gimli had his axe in hand, and Legolas his long knife. All his arrows were spent. When they came into the glade, they halted in amazement, and then they stood a moment with heads bowed in grief, for it seemed to them plain what had happened. "Alas," said Legolas, coming to Aragorn's side, "we have hunted and slain many orcs in the woods, but we should have been of more use here. We came when we heard the horn, but too late it seems. I fear you have taken deadly hurt." "Boromir is dead," said Aragorn. "I am unscathed, for I was not here with him. He fell defending the hobbits while I was away upon the hill." "The hobbits!" cried Gimli. "Where are they then? Where is Frodo?" "I do not know," answered Aragorn wearily. "Before he died, Boromir told me that the orcs had bound them. He did not think that they were dead. I sent him to follow Merry and Pippin, but I did not ask him if Frodo or Sam were with him. Not until it was too late. All that I have done today has gone amiss. What is it to be done now?" "First we must tend the fallen," said Legolas. "We cannot leave him lying like carrion among these foul orcs." "But we must be swift," said Gimli. "He would not wish us to linger. We must follow the orcs, if there is hope that any of our company are living prisoners." "But we do not know whether the ring-bearer is with them or not," said Aragorn. "Are we to abandon him? Must we not seek him first? An evil choice is now before us. Then let us do what we first must do. Then let us do first what we must do," said Legolas. "We have not the time or tools to bury our comrade fitly, or to raise a mound over him. A cairn we might build. The labor would be hard and long. There are no stones that we could use nearer than the waterside," said Gimli. "Then let us lay him in a boat with his weapons, and the weapons of his vanquished foes," said Aragorn. "We will send him to the falls of Ruas and give him to Anduin. The river of Gondor will take care at least that no evil creature dishonors his bones." Damn. So the orcs came. I remember that part. The orcs came and they all kind of split up. Frodo put on the goddamn ring, right? "Yeah, where is Frodo? I do not know," answered Aragorn. "Yeah. Boromir told me that the orcs had bound them. He did not think that they were dead. I sent him to follow Merry and Pippin, but I did not ask him if Frodo and Sam were with him, not until it was too late." I remember, yeah, Frodo, yeah, he put on the ring. Yeah. Wow. He's by himself, right? Yeah. It's okay. I'm pretty sure probably the last character is Frodo that we're gonna read about. But let's continue. And that sucks that Boromir just died. That was really sad. What is happening? Okay. I'm okay. Quickly, they searched the bodies of the orcs, gathering their swords and cloven helms and shields into a heap. Good job. See, cried Aragorn, here we find tokens. He picked out from this pile of grim weapons 2 knives, leaf-bladed, demasked in gold and red. And searching further, he found also the sheaths, black, set with small red gems. No orc tools these, he said. They were borne by the hobbits. Doubtless the orcs despoiled them, but feared to keep the knives, knowing them for what they are. Work of Westernese, wound about with spells for the bane of Mordor. Well now, if they still live, our friends are weaponless. I will take these things, hoping against hope to give them back. And I, said Legolas, will take all the arrows that I can find, for my quiver is empty. He searched in the pile and on the ground about, and found not a few that were undamaged and longer in the shaft than such arrows as the orcs were accustomed to use. He looked at them closely. You know what I realized? Okay. Side note. J.R.R. Tolkien's writing is different, so like I catch myself tripping up a little bit, but I will know how to read it efficiently. As I did with Michael Collins. And Aragorn looked on the slain, and he said, here lie many that are not folk of Mordor. Some are from the north, from the misty mountains. If I know anything of orcs and their kinds, and here are all the others strange to me, their gear is not after the manner of orcs at all. There were 4 goblin soldiers of greater stature, swart, slant-eyed, and with thick legs and large hands. They were armed with short, broad-bladed swords, not with the curved scimitars usual with orcs. And they had bows of yew in length and shape like the bows of men. Upon their shields they bore a strange device, a small white hand in the center of a black field. On the front of their iron helms was set an S rune, wrought on some white metal. I have not seen these tokens before, said Aragorn. What do they mean? S is for Sauron, said Gimli. That is easy to read. Nay, said Legolas, Sauron does not use the elf runes. Neither does he use his right name, nor permit it to be spelt or spoken, said Aragorn. And he does not use white. The orcs in the service of Braddoor use the sign of the red eye. He stood for a moment in thought. S for the Saruman, I guess, he said at length. There is evil afoot in Isengard, and the west is no longer safe. It is as Gandalf feared. By some means the traitor Saruman has had news of our journey. It is likely, too, that he knows of Gandalf's fall. Pursuers from Moria may have escaped the vigilance of Lorien, or they may have avoided that land and come to Isengard by other paths. Orcs travel fast, but Saruman has many ways of learning news. Do you remember the birds? Well, we have no time to ponder riddles, said Gimli. Let us bear Boromir away. But after that we must guess the riddles if we are to choose our course rightly, answered Aragorn. Maybe there is no right choice, said Gimli. Taxing his axe, the dwarf now cut several branches. These they lashed together with bowstrings and spread their cloaks upon the frame. I'm going to reread that. Taking his axe, the dwarf now cut several branches. These they lashed together with bowstrings and spread their cloaks upon the frame. Upon the rough bearer they carried the body of their companion to the shore, together with such trophies of his last battle as they chose to send forth with him. Boromir. It was only a short way, yet they found it no easy task. The Boromir was a man both tall and strong, for Boromir was a man both tall and strong. At the waterside, Aragorn remained, watching the bearer, while Legolas and Gimli hastened back on foot to Parth Galen. It was a mile or more, and it was some time before they came back, paddling 2 boats swiftly along the shore. There is a strange tale to tell, said Legolas. There are only 2 boats upon the bank. We could find no trace of the other. Have orcs been there? Asked Aragorn. We saw no signs of them, answered Gimli, and orcs would have taken or destroyed all the boats, and the baggage as well. I will look at the ground when we come here. When we come there, said Aragorn. Now they laid Boromir in the middle of the boat that was to bear him anyway. The grey hood and elven cloak they folded and placed beneath his head. They combed his long dark hair and arrayed it upon his shoulders. The golden belt of Lorien gleamed about his waist. His helm they sat beside him, and across his lap they laid the cloven horn, and the hilt and shards of his sword. Beneath his feet they put the swords of his enemies. Then fastened the prow to the stern of the other boat, and drew him out into the water. They rowed sadly along the shore, and turned into the swift running channel. They passed the green sward of Parth Galen. The steep sides of Tol Brandor were glowing, and it was now mid-afternoon. As they went south of the fume of roars rose, and shimmered before them a haze of gold. The rush and thunder of the falls shook the windless air. Sorrowfully, they cast loose the funeral boat. There Boromir lay, restful, peaceful, gliding upon the bosom of the flowing water. The stream took him, while they held their own boat back with their paddles. He floated by them, and slowly his boat departed, waning to a dark spot against the golden light, and then suddenly it vanished. Raros roared on unchanging. The river had taken Boromir, son of Denethor, and he was not seen again in Minas Tirith, standing as he used to stand upon the White Tower in the morning. But in Gondor, and after days it was said that the elven boat rode the falls and the foaming pool, and bore him down through Osgiliath, and past the many mouths of Anduin, out into the great sea at night under the stars. For a while the three companions remained silent, gazing after him. Then Aragorn spoke. They will look for him from the White Tower, he said, but he will not return from mountain nor from sea. Then slowly he began to sing. Through Rohan, over fen and field, where the long grass grows, the west wind comes walking, and about the walls it goes. What news from the west, O wandering wind, do you bring to me tonight? Have you seen Boromir, the tall by moon or by starlight? I saw him ride over 7 streams, over waters wide and gray. I saw him walk in empty lands until he passed away into the shadows of the north. I saw him then no more. The north wind may have heard the horn of the son of Denethor. O Boromir, from the high walls westward I looked afar, but you came not from the empty lands where no men are. Then Legolas sang. From the mouths of the sea the south wind flies, from the sand hills and the stones. The wailing of the gulls it bears, and at the gate it moans. What news from the south, O sighing wind, do you bring me at eve? Where now is Boromir the fair? He tarries, and I grieve. Ask not of me where he doth dwell, so many bones there lie, on the white shores and the dark shores under the stormy sky. So many have passed down Anduin to find the flowing sea. Ask of the north wind news of them the north wind sends to me. O Boromir, beyond the gate the seaward road runs south, but you came not with the wailing gulls from the grey sea's mouth. Then Aragorn sang again. From the gate of the kings the north wind rises, and past the roaring falls, and clear and cold about the tower its loud horn calls. What news from the north, O mighty wind, do you bring to me today? What news of Boromir the bold, for he is long away? Beneath Amon Hen I heard his cry. There many foes he fought. His cloven shield, his broken sword, they to the water brought. His head so proud, his face so fair, his limbs they laid to rest. And Rhoros, golden Rhoros falls, bore him upon its breasts. O Boromir, the Tower of Guard! The Tower of Guard shall ever northward gaze, to Rhuas, golden Rhuas falls, until the end of days. So they ended. Then they turned their boat, and drove it all with all the speed they could against the stream back to Parth Galen. You left the east wind to me, said Gimli, but I will say not. From the mouths of the sea the south wind flies, from the sand hills and the stones. The wailing of the gulls it bears, and at the gate it moans. What news from the south, O sighing wind, do you bring me at eve? Where now is Boromir the fair? He tarries, and I grieve. Ask not of me where he doth dwell, so many bones there lie, on the white shores and the dark shores under the stormy sky. So many have passed down Anduin to find the flowing sea. Ask of the north wind news of them the north wind sends to me. O Boromir, beyond the gate the seaward road runs south, but you came not with the wailing gulls from the grey sea's mouth. Then Aragorn sang again. From the gate of the kings the north wind rides, and past the roaring falls, and clear and cold about the tower its loud horn calls. What news from the north, O mighty wind, do you bring to me today? What news of Boromir the bold, for he is long away? Beneath Amon Hen I heard his cry, there many foes he fought. His cloven shield, his broken sword, they to the water brought. His head so proud, his face so fair, his limbs they laid to rest. And Rhoros, golden Rhoros falls, bore him upon its breasts. O Boromir, the Tower of Guard! The Tower of Guard shall ever northward gaze, to Rhuas, golden Rhuas falls, until the end of days. So they ended. Then they turned their boat and drove it all with all the speed they could against the stream back to Parth Galen. You left the east wind to me, said Gimli, but I will say naught of it. That is as it should be, said Aragorn. In Minas Tirith they endure the east wind, but do not ask for it for tidings. But now Boromir has taken his road, and we must make haste to choose our own. He surveyed the green lawn, quickly but thoroughly, stooping often to the earth. No orcs have been on this ground, he said. Otherwise nothing can be made out for certain. All our footprints are there, crossing and recrossing. I cannot tell whether any of the hobbits have come back since the search for Frodo began. He returned to the bank, close to where the rill of the spring trickled out into the river. There are some clear prints here, he said. A hobbit waded out into the water and back, but I cannot say how long ago. How then do you read this riddle? Asked Gimli. Aragorn did not answer at once, but went back to the camping place and looked at the baggage. 2 packs are missing, he said, and one is certainly Sam's. It was rather large and heavy. This, then, is the answer. Frodo has gone by boat, and a servant has gone with him. Frodo must have returned while we were all away. I met Sam going up the hill and told him to follow me, but plainly he did not do so. He guessed his master's mind and came back here before Frodo had gone. He did not find it easy to leave Sam behind. But why should he leave us behind, and without a word? Said Gimli. That was a strange deed. And a brave deed, said Aragorn. Sam was right, I think. Frodo did not wish to lead any friend to death with him in Mordor, but he knew that he must go himself. Something happened after he left us that overcame his fear and doubt. Maybe hunting orcs came on him and he fled, said Legolas. He fled certainly, said Aragorn, but not, I think, from orcs. What he thought was the cause of Frodo's sudden resolve and flight, Aragorn did not say. The last words of Boromir he long kept secret. Well, so much at least is now clear, said Legolas. Frodo is no longer on this side of the river. Only he could have taken the boat, and Sam is with him. Only he would have taken his pack. Our choice then, said Gimli, is either to take the remaining boat and follow Frodo, or else to follow the orcs on foot. Alexa, stop. There is little hope either way. We have already lost precious hours. Let me think, said Aragorn, and now may I make a right choice, and change the evil fate of this unhappy day. He stood silent for a moment. I will follow the orcs, he said at last. I will have guided Frodo to Mordor and gone with him to the end, But if I seek him now in the wilderness, I must abandon the captives to torment and death. My heart speaks clearly at last. The fate of the bearer is in my hands no longer. The company has played its part. Yet we that remain cannot forsake our companions while we have strength left. Come, we will go now. Leave all that can be spared behind. We will press on day and dark. All right, that was 30 minutes of reading every single day for 30 minutes till I reach day 1,000 and beyond. The start of the Two Towers, J.R.R. Tolkien, amazing. We picked up with the scattering of all the companions and the whole company. Frodo took the ring, came back. Sam also came back to the same spot. They both went together on a boat, left. Boromir died fighting all the orcs. You're a trooper. You're a trooper, Boromir. Thank you. And then they took Boromir, Gimli, and Aragorn, and Legolas. All three took Boromir, wrapped him up, sent him along the river, down towards, I can't remember what land it was. Exactly. Minas Tirith is where I guess they're going to go next. Aragorn says, we still have strength. We can still fight, even though the company is basically on their own. I'm so excited to see where Aragorn and these three go. I love these two. And I think my favorite out of these three are probably Aragorn and Legolas. Gimli was kind of a new companion, just a little newer. Yeah. Day 144. Let's go. See y'all. I'm at the bottom of page 419. Oh my god, that's so awesome. It picks up exactly. I'm at the bottom of page 419, so it picks up exactly after Fellowship of the Ring. That's awesome. Bottom of page 419. See y'all day 155. Let's go.